discover the natural power of ashwagandha, an ancient herb known for its healing properties. For over 3,000 years, ashwagandha has been trusted to reduce stress, increase energy, and improve focus. Our ashwagandha is carefully grown, harvested, and processed to retain its maximum potency. Each root is hand-picked and dried, then ground into a pure organic powder, ensuring the highest quality. Simply mix 1 teaspoon into your favorite beverage or take it in capsule form as prescribed by a healthcare professional. Whether you're looking to balance your stress levels, boost your immune system, or enhance mental clarity, ashwagandha offers a natural solution. Experience the benefits of ancient wisdom backed by modern science. Trust nature. Trust ashwagandha. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Good afternoon, family. Hope you guys are doing great today, and welcome to another episode of the Africa Today Show. My name is Jo B. I hope you're having an easy day so far. Mine has been amazing. I can't complain. Yeah, and so far so good. It's exactly a minute past 8 p.m. and karibuni sana to another yet beautiful conversation as we talk about the Democratic autopsy, which has proven it's an anti-blackness. We're going to be joined by Mr. Blackfire as he explains much more of that conversation, which is a topic picked by him, and why we're going to be focusing on that. But before we get into that, I'd love to start with Iran, some news and updates with what is happening with Iran. During the weekend, I mentioned something yesterday where we saw the Iran parliament did put up a vote. Iran's parliament did put up a vote bill offering 50 million euros reward for killing Trump and Netanyahu. So we're going to be starting with some of that conversation, looking at also where the new updates of the war, because that is a few hours ago we had the US launching new strikes on Iran and what is actually happening right now. So karibuni sana as we get started with today's conversation.
Iran's parliament to vote on bill offering £50 million reward for killing Trump and Netanyahu. The bill, titled Reciprocal Action by Military and Security Forces of the Islamic Republic, is one of the several pieces of legislation aimed at formalizing the threats made by the regime. This is from Jerusalem Post. This is another one. This is from an Iranian Iranian station. Iran parliament working on bill that proposes 50 million reward for killing Trump. So basically, this is a big fucking deal. Like, the parliament actually voted on this 50 million. This means this is coming from the official government account. This is not like the Ayatollah just giving up £1 million pounds for the head of what's this man Salman Rushdie, where he wrote the satanic verses. This is completely different. I don't think they've ever done this before. The parliament is offering an actual reward of 50 million for Trump's head. I think this is one of the reasons why Trump put out $1.7 billion for his followers, to make sure everybody's fat enough to nobody's going to take 50 million for his head. This is crazy. Why am I just hearing of this?
Yeah, so I think that, no, I don't want to say the bill has been up, but that is an offer that I think they put up long time ago. Literally, they have been saying they're going to reward anyone who is going to be able to get rid of Trump and Netanyahu, if I'm not wrong. But let's look at some of that detail as they continue.
Breaking news. As of today, the Iranian parliament has drafted a
Quality to the Royal Constrictor. Hope you're doing amazing today, and wishing you a beautiful rest part of your day, and welcome to today's conversation.
piece of legislation that's known as the Assassination Bill. Now, its formal title is Counteraction by the Military and Security Forces of the Islamic Republic, and it's allocating $58 to $60 million in the form of a bounty for the unaliving of President Trump, Benjamin Netanyahu, and U.S. Admiral Brad Cooper, the commander of CENTCOM, who's been initiating all these strikes against Iran since the beginning of the war. Iranian lawmakers have framed this legislation as reciprocal action for the strikes conducted by the U.S. and Israel against Iran that eliminated their supreme leader. This bill was announced on Iranian state TV today, and it is still under parliamentary review. It has not passed yet, but if it passes there, which it's expected to, it will then have to be approved by the Guardian Council, and once that's done, it is enacted into law. This is a major, significant move by Iran to formalize an assassination threat. Normally, this is just done through religious means and other means. They don't pass legislation to formalize this. This is unprecedented. Now, this is a reminder that Iran is under significant international sanctions, so their ability to make a payment in this amount would be incredibly difficult. It's unclear how they would be able to do that. So very serious stuff here. This is a major escalation. We'll see if Trump responds to this today. I'll be watching Truth Social and the news to see if he does. I will update you immediately, so be sure to follow along for more. Check back for updates. Let everyone know, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
Iran just put a price on Humpty Dumpty's head. That's right. Iran just submitted a bill, a piece of legislation to award $60 million to whoever unalives Kenkel's McTaco tits. Baby, this is real. Yes.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
Iran just put a price on Humpty Dumpty's head.
I love the way she's calling him Humpty Dumpty. I love the way she's calling him.
That's right. Iran just submitted a bill, a piece of legislation, to award $60 million to whoever unalives Kenkel's McTaco tits. Baby, this is real. Yes, Iran's parliament is considering a bill right now that would award what is approximately $60 million to anyone who mamasamates Humpty Dumpty, BB Nanny Boo Boo, and the U.S. CENTCOM commander, Admiral Brad Cooper. And the lawmaker who announced it, who is also the chair of Iran's National Security Committee, said on national state television that this is their religious duty. Now, the bill hasn't passed yet. It still has to pass the committee and get council approval. Now, please understand what they mean when they say this is reciprocal, because that's exactly what he said. Remember back when they unalived Iran's leader? Yeah, so they're saying you unalived ours. Now we're legislating a piece to unalive yours. Reciprocal. So all I'm saying is you can't spend 6 years ordering smashamations, disrupting governments, bombing leaders, and then act surprised when the other side decides what's good for you is good for us, Boogie. I mean, this is what reciprocal looks like when the other side has legislation and a budget, bitch. So whether you think Humpty Trumpty and Nanny Boo Boo deserve it, or whether you think Iran is wrong for doing this, I need y'all to understand what it is we're watching happen in real motherfucking time. Because this is what happens when leaders treat government, treat reality like a TV show, a reality TV show, and forget that the other side is keeping score. And that is going to cost big time. So y'all let me know what y'all think Iran's move is about to be. What's Humpty Dumpty going to do?
Iran's parliament has...
I don't know what Humpty Dumpty is going to do. I love the way she's just calling him. But the Humpty Dumpty launched some new strike on Iran.
Donald Trump says negotiations are proceeding nicely, but the US president has again issued a warning to Iran, saying that no deal means there will be a return to conflict. On the Iranian side, a tempered response today, Tehran says there's a degree of understanding between the two sides. However, both remain in a holding pattern of waiting for an agreement of a deal to discuss a deal. And even with that optimism and confidence being projected, Iran says there's no timetable and no deadline for finalizing the framework. It's Memorial Day here in the United States, and the US president and his cabinet have been paying respects to fallen troops, including 13 service members killed in Operation Epic Fury.
The world's #1 state sponsor of terror will never have a nuclear weapon. Oh, and they won't. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
America's top diplomat backing his boss and saying the negotiations are a work in progress.
So we have what I think is a pretty solid thing on the table in terms of their ability to open up the straits, get the straits open, enter into a very real, significant, time-limited negotiation on the nuclear matters. and hopefully we can pull it off.
As part of that deal on the table, a 60-day ceasefire extension would go into place, the Strait of Hormuz would be reopened, and negotiations would be held over Iran's nuclear program. And as Donald Trump looks to seal the deal with Iran, he's also announced he'd like to expand the Abraham Accords, a set of treaties aimed at normalizing relations with Israel. The US president saying Arab nations should sign on immediately before adding that Iran could eventually join too. That, however, highly unlikely.
The United States has launched new airstrikes on Iran. According to reports, the strikes targeted Iranian missile launch sites and boats involved in laying naval mines. According to U.S. Central Command Captain Tim Hawkins, these operations were carried out as self-defense measures, and their purpose was to protect American troops in the region from Iranian threats. According to reports from Fox News, 2 Iranian boats were seen laying naval mines in the Strait of Hormuz, after which the U.S. military reportedly destroyed both boats. Reports also claim that an Iranian missile defense system near Bandar Abbas was targeted as well, which was allegedly tracking American fighter jets. It is worth noting, these strikes came shortly after Donald Trump warned that Iran's enriched uranium must either be handed over to the United States or destroyed inside Iran. Meanwhile, Iranian state media has confirmed that explosions were heard in Bandar Abbas. However, Iran has not yet issued any official response to the strikes. Interestingly, despite these attacks, the fragile ceasefire between the United States and Iran still remains in place, and now the eyes of the entire world are fixed on these rising tensions. What do you think? Will the situation get worse from here? Share your opinion in the comments and follow for more updates.
What's up, America? The United States attacks Iran once again in what's being declared self-defense strikes to protect our troops. The United States military has attacked Iranian missile sites and also gunboats that were possibly going to be laying mines. Now, the United States military says this is a preemptive self-defense strike to protect our soldiers while we're negotiating with Iran for a peace deal. Now, some people are saying this is showing Iran that we're willing to continue the fight. Others are saying this is throwing a monkey in the wrench of the peace deal. Nevertheless, it looks like hostilities are starting to boil over and tensions are reaching a maximum level once again. Now, in my opinion, it's a privilege, not a right, for the Iranian government to come to the table and negotiate. We could just wipe their government out. But I have a feeling negotiations were starting to go south, so we gave them a little tough love over there, if you know.
Wow, this is crazy. White people are really crazy, isn't it? Super crazy. But we're going to shift away from that. Those are just some quick updates about the war with America, between America and Iran, and how the Iranian parliament, or Iran's parliament, has put up a bill. They're looking forward to vote on a bill offering 50 million euros reward, 50 million euros reward for killing Trump and Netanyahu. But as we continue, I'm going to shift up very quickly and share this video. Okay, let me see if I can find the right one. Just give me a minute. But explained by a black person. Let's see. Let me share this before I get a right one. One that's going to explain.
Specifically, we'll be diving into how both the electoral system itself and the ways in which elections are administered have been constructed throughout American history and into the modern day to erase the impact of African Americans, steal their votes, and perpetuate their subjugation. To understand how America's electoral system screws over Black Americans, we first need to understand how elections work in the US. Civics is fairly boring, so I'm going to try to make this part quick. Presidential elections in the US don't function the same as in any other democracy. Unlike other countries, where the president is determined by which candidate receives the most votes, the US runs on a system called the Electoral College. Essentially, what this system entails is that when you vote for president, you're not actually voting for the president directly, but instead you're advising electors, who are the people that actually vote for the president. A bit after the election,
Let me share this. I don't know. Oh, like, let me share this instead. It's too slow.
The Black vote, the collective we, are so uninformed at this point, it's becoming disrespectful and even shameful to our ancestors who literally gave their lives so that we could try to get this right for our people. Let me tell you something that history already proved, and that too many of us have either forgotten or never knew in the first place. The greatest minds, the boldest hearts, the most fearless warriors our community has ever produced, they did not die fighting for your right to not vote. They bled for your right to vote. And there is a profound difference between those two things. For instance, Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale built the Black Panther Party not just on the barrel of a gun for self-defense. They built it on 10 points. And point 5 said it plainly. We want community control. Control of our schools, control of police, control of our politics. They understood that people without political power are a people at the mercy of everyone else's agenda. Newton wrote that the oppressor maintains power through institutions, and that to dismantle oppression, you must build your own institutions. Fred Hampton, 21 years old and already building a rainbow coalition across racial lines, preached something that made the police and the FBI so terrified that they murdered him in his sleep. He said, we're going to fight racism with solidarity. He was organizing Black voters. He was registering Black people. He was building political infrastructure in Chicago, right here, because he knew that the ballot was a weapon the establishment could not as easily shoot back at. Malcolm X, who many misquote as being against the vote, he said publicly in his Ballot or the Bullet speech in 1964, he declared the political philosophy of Black nationalism means that the Black people should control the politics and politicians in their own community. He wasn't against voting. He was against wasted voting. Voting for people who didn't represent you. He was calling for united Black political power. This is not the same thing as saying your vote doesn't matter. That is the opposite. That is stupidity. My personal hero, Fannie Lou Hamer, was nearly beaten to death in a Mississippi jail in 1963 for helping Black people register to vote. She showed up to the 1964 Democratic National Convention and said on national television, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. She co-founded the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party because she believed Black people needed their own political representation at the table. I believe the same thing. She didn't die believing your vote was worthless. She suffered believing it was priceless, while others let fear keep them from the ballot box. Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture, helped start the Black Power movement. He tirelessly explained what Black Power meant. He wrote in his 1967 book that Black people must form independent political parties and build Black-controlled institutions. He studied every election where Black voters were decisive. He understood electoral math. He was teaching political science in the streets up north and in the barns down south, with none of the fear or excuses that we hear from folks in our community today. Ella Baker, the unsung architect of the civil rights movement, spent decades building SNCC and the NAACP and other grassroots political organizations precisely because she believed power must be built from the bottom up. She trained a generation of organizers to run for office, canvass precincts, and turn community frustration into electoral action. She said, strong people don't need strong leaders, meaning you have the power. You must use it. So when some uninformed person on your timeline or in your barbershop or at your family cookout tells you voting doesn't matter, understand what they're really saying. They are saying they know better than Fannie Lou Hamer, who bled for the ballot. They are saying they know better than Fred Hampton, who died before he could cast another vote. They are saying they know better than Malcolm X, who studied the ballot like scripture and called it a bullet. They don't know better. They have been taught helplessness. And helplessness in the hands of the oppressor is the most useful tool there is. Every time you say it and believe it, your enemy wins more power. It's a cop-out, period. The vote alone has never been enough. Every one of these leaders said so. But every single one of them also agreed on the same ideology. We must unify the Black vote, cultivate leaders from our own communities, and seize political and economic power by any means necessary. No more protests in the street. No more just surviving in the margins. If you're a coward, then say that. But don't use your platform or someone else's comment section to try to convince those of us with courage and a plan to do nothing while the culture is monetized to fund billionaires and our lives are threatened daily. The question was never whether to vote. The question has always been, are we willing to organize well enough to make our vote powerful enough to gain leverage over this racist system in this stolen America? I love you, Black man. I love you, Black woman. Knowledge is power.
How do you do quick research like that, Jarakio? You always amaze me. You always amaze me how quick you go and pull these people's names, where they're from, where they're born, their moms and dads. Shout out to you, man. You should have been a journalist too, man. Shout out to you, but let me continue.
Power to the people.
How did the Black vote turn blue? So the Republican Party was founded in the northern states in 1854 by people opposed to slavery. During the Reconstruction period, many Black Americans supported the Republican Party because that had been the party of Abraham Lincoln, who had overseen and helped pass the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, without knowing that the 13th Amendment literally allowed prisoners to be treated as slaves. Essentially, the Republican Party championed civil rights for Black Americans, whereas the Southern Democratic Party wanted to maintain white supremacy. So out of that, we get the Negro Republican Party. The first Black people in Congress were Republican. So here's where the flip happened. A lot of Black people moved north during the Great Migration to get away from the white supremacists in the South. President Franklin D. Roosevelt supported many programs like welfare and things of that sort and economic hardship, and that attracted many Black voters to the Democratic Party. What solidified the Black vote within the Democratic Party was when presidents like Truman, John F. Kennedy, and Lyndon B. Johnson supported the civil rights movement. Also, there was a small party called the Dixiecrats that separated themselves from the Democrat, who were really strong advocates for Jim Crow laws. They ended up flipping to Republican when they noticed that the Democrats were supporting the civil rights movement. So today, many Black voters vote blue no matter who, thinking that the Democrats are going to save us, but it's not true.
When the people are taught to...
They tell you to just vote, but did you know people died for that right?
When the people are taught to forget...
They tell you to just vote, but did you know people died?
Did you know? 155 years ago, the 15th Amendment gave Black men the right to vote on paper. But when we tried to vote, we were targeted and attacked through intimidation, extra taxes, literacy tests, and just straight up violence at the polls. Most of us weren't even able to vote until about 100 years later with the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And millions of us have voted over the last 60 years. But still, our vote is under attack. With things like strict voter ID laws, disinformation, and just taking away our right to vote, they're still targeting us. But it's because they know we have power. More than 16 million Black men are eligible to vote today, and important local elections are happening all over the country this year. Yes, this year, 2025. Imagine what we could do for our people if we pulled up to the polls. So here's what you can do right now. First, register to vote or check your voter status to make sure your registration is solid for this year. Second, find out who your local elected officials are and check to see if elections are happening where you live.
People need to understand why folks are gathered in Alabama, in Montgomery, and in Selma. Full rights under the Constitution was granted as a result of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. American democracy, as I said before, is 61 years old. And we have to remember when Martin Luther King came back from getting the Nobel Peace Prize, he and Andrew Young stopped off at the White House here in Washington to meet with President Johnson. They had gotten the 1964 Civil Rights Act done in December of 64. They went to the president to say, Mr. President, we need voting rights. And the president said to them, I don't have the power. I got you the 64 Civil Rights Act, but I don't have the power. And after that meeting, Ambassador Young told me, that he and Dr. King sat and they talked, and Ambassador Young said to him, well, what are you going to do? And Dr. King said, we're going to get the president on power.
Hey, Bissana, who's this bootlick handkerchief head Negro talking about right here? This bootlick coon. What is this bootlick coon talking about right here that loves to suck white man's cocks and balls? Literally.
I don't know his name, but yeah.
His name. I forgot his name. His name is Hoaz Negro. What's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. But he's a bootlicking coon. You guys say what's his name. You guys remember his name down in the chat. What's this? Something. I can't remember his name. What's he talking about anyway?
He's talking about the black voting rights in 2026 and what are black people going to do about it, and the reason why some people are demonstrating about the voting rights.
Demonstrating don't do shit. You be in the street, you learn that. That's why you bring up that Dr. King shit. You see, it didn't work. See, they don't gotta pretend Dr. King worked no more because it did what it's supposed to do. So you guys can't use Dr. King no more. That scam them wearing out. So you march around buildings singing songs like they do in South Africa. Think shit gonna change. Good luck to you. They want black people to always be walking around holding signs and singing and shit. That don't change nothing. You gotta be like the Mau Mau. You know how they got changed and shit? Because the Mau Mau started going to same thing happened here. See, Mau Mau started going to people's homes and doing that real work. And Joe made that documentary. The Mau Mau had to start killing Kenyans. Yeah, the coons. And the white people had to go. Too many African coons. They just didn't kill black people just to kill them. They said we're gonna get rid of you if you're gonna be down with the enemy.
And from that conversation led to the Selma to Montgomery marches. What we call Bloody Sunday was the very first day of those marches. We showed the archival footage before when John Lewis and 600 marchers were pushed back over the bridge. Tear gas, mounted police, billy clubs. Congressman Lewis got his head knocked in when the video, the footage of those protests.
Got his head knocked in. And all that shit they showed right there didn't move the needle 1 inch. That shit didn't move nothing. That shit they show you now. See, they want to tell you propaganda with this coon. What's this coon's name? I can't remember. What's this coon's name? I can't remember this coon's name. Something, it's on the tip of my tongue. These are the same bootlicks, you know, that work against you, right? The same bootlicks that work against you. His name Jeremy something, right? Jeremy something. Something like that. I don't know this coon's name. His name is Captain Coon. That's his name. And but well, whatever this, I can't remember this coon's name. Jesus Christ, I'm going back. But they always get the remember he's everything anti-black, and he's also a homosexual. I'm on YouTube. Not that that's any trouble. Wink, wink. Right? Jeremy Capehart. That's his name. Jeremy Capehart. That's his name. Ain't it his name? You guys ain't getting. You got it. Cassius. Yeah, Capehart. It's Jonathan Capehart. Okay, Jonathan. I know it was. Right when you were, I just got it. I said Jeremy. Jonathan Capehart. That's his goofy name. I know it's some goofy name. I couldn't remember, but he's always been anti-black. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay.
Being beamed into homes around the country later that day. It was these pictures that showed the American people what was happening to fellow citizens who were only asking for the right to vote. So when people want to know, well, why are folks going to Alabama? Why are they marching? Why are people, particularly African Americans, upset about the Calais decision? It is because those folks on that bridge put their lives on the line, so that America could truly be America. And it is important, I am emphatic, that people understand that this moment is not brand new. We have been here before. We will get through this, but it doesn't mean that it is any less painful to watch.
People, you're never going to learn. You are literally marching in the streets down south over voter rights because you've allowed AOC to convince you that you have no right to vote. All because the right wants you to have ID to vote. So now you've let them convince you that you don't have an ID, you don't know how to get an ID, and because of that, you're not going to be allowed to vote. Do you remember that your ancestors, they marched in the streets so that you could vote? And FYI, you can vote. Why are you like, did y'all see the videos of the people like in Alabama, Black people for miles marching for voter rights as if they don't have the right to vote? Like, are y'all going back in time? Are y'all pretending to be your ancestors? Because our ancestors, they did march so that we could vote. We can vote. But because AOC is playing in your face again, why do y'all listen to the left? Like, what makes you think that they have your best interests at heart? Like, where does that come from? And now we have Hakeem Jeffries telling high school senior athletes not to apply for universities in the South because you can't vote, and they're changing the red line districting. And so they're bringing back, like, essentially Kamala Harris allegedly, in quotation, said that it's reverse racism. So Hakeem Jeffries is now telling performing high school seniors, don't apply for schools in the South. Don't go there, go somewhere else. And I'm here to tell all you amazing athlete seniors, go to school where you're going to be able to thrive in your sport. Do not let the left take your athletic career away over bullshit and lies, okay? Don't listen to Hakeem Jeffries. If you want to go to a school in the South, please go. If you get recruited and a full ride scholarship for your athletic ability, please go. And for all of you people marching in Alabama for your right to vote, you can vote. Like, is something wrong? I mean, this is beyond nervous system dysregulation. I can't even speak to this. This is some victimhood, like DNA survival mode stuck trauma. Because otherwise, you guys make no sense. Like, let me know down in the comments. Am I crazy? Or are y'all crazy? I don't know, because I don't understand why people would be marching for their right to vote when you can vote.
The Supreme Court gutted one of the most important voting rights tools that Black America has ever had. And a lot of people don't even know what they took. We should talk about what just happened and why it's been happening for over 150 years. I'm Alante Serene, and you're watching Melanin Mythbusters, who explore all sorts of Black milestones, mysteries, memories, and myths. So let's get into it. You may think that Black people got the right to vote in 1965, but the gag is that happened a century before in 1870 with the 15th Amendment. That amendment says you can't deny the right to vote based on race, but it didn't say anything about literacy tests, poll taxes, or understanding clauses. And by the 1890s, most of the former Confederate states that had just lost the war over the right to enslave Black people built an entire system around those loopholes. Basically, if a white man couldn't read, they'd pass him anyway. But if a Black man missed a single word, he'd fail. Louisiana used something called the Grandfather Clause. So if your grandpa could vote before the Civil War, you didn't have to take a literacy test. And guess whose grandfathers couldn't vote before the war? By 1904, fewer than 1% of eligible Black men in Louisiana were registered to vote. Local sheriffs destroyed registration lists, and registrars made Black people recite the Constitution from memory. So even though states technically weren't saying no Black voters allowed, they designed the rules to get the same results. But fast forward to the 1950s and 60s, and voting became a huge part of the civil rights movement. When the Voting Rights Act passed in 1965, it changed everything. Section 5 required certain states to get federal approval before changing any voting laws. And Section 2 made any voting rule illegal if it discriminated on the basis of race, even if that wasn't the intent. That gave Black communities, Native nations, and Latino voters a way to challenge laws that made voting harder, even if those laws never technically mentioned race. Within 5 years, Black voter registration in the South doubled. In Mississippi, it jumped from 7% to nearly 60% by 1970. And Section 2 struck down unfair redistricting maps across Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and beyond. Plus, it helped create more Black majority districts, so communities could finally elect leaders that looked like them and fought for them. But every generation, there are people who try to weaken it. In 2013, the Supreme Court gutted Section 5, saying federal oversight was outdated, which caused dozens of states to pass new voter ID laws, close polling places, and redraw district maps. So Section 2 became one of the last major tools left to fight back. But they just came for that too. In a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court struck down the Louisiana congressional district map.
Pause that, Joe. And did you see any of the Democratic Party fight these things? No, because they've been using you for your vote since you switched parties. Remember, both white people are always going to be white people, they're racist. So when we all switched from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party, because you believe that Martin Luther King shit gave you some damn fake, phony little benefits when it didn't. It's because we were like the Mau. We were going, there were, as Joby showed you, there was, and they took down, it was riots all over the country that Black people were fighting for armed rights, and they were burning down the cities. That's why we showed you L.A., Detroit, New Jersey, that was over Newark, Chicago. Wherever Black people were, they were burning shit down to the ground. So we're not going to be, all the time y'all been burned down our town. No justice. And it's always about police brutality. Them always trying to subjugate us. So we refuse to be subjugated. And just like, and it was these handkerchief head niggas, because you guys don't remember, the white people said Black people could have got everything they want. That's why we didn't get nothing. But they put the MLK motherfuckers up there. Same way they did with Nelson Mandela to actually negotiate away your freedom. So we didn't ever really. White people were so scared of us. I'm sure the same thing with the mama. They were so scared of us. They said they were willing to get us everything we wanted in the
fight in the street. Not because you were hold on, Joey. Go ahead. I gotta ask this call right to me.
That map created a second majority Black district, which helped give Black residents, who make up 1 in 3 Louisianans, fair representation. But the court called it unconstitutional. And that ruling makes Section 2 voting right cases much harder to win. For years, communities could challenge voting maps based on discriminatory outcomes or effects. But now, this means you'll need much stronger evidence that race was a driving force behind the maps, even when the impact hits Black voters the hardest. And of course, the same Confederate states that invented Jim Crow are moving first. Some Democrat leaders are calling this the new Jim Crow, and they've got a point. It's clear that even 150 years later, the fight for voting rights isn't over. If you got this far, comment and let us know if you're registered to vote. Follow Mountain Mythbusters to explore more.
Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves is betting that the fight for voting rights stays neatly divided along racial lines. But Black voting rights have never only been a Black-only fight. Some of the volunteers who came to Mississippi in 1964 were white college students for the North, and 2 of them are buried right here in this state on this land. I found some Mississippians who are not Black today who understand that very same assignment, and I want you to hear what they had to say.
Well, either my country stands for liberty and justice for all, or it stands for much worse. I'd rather it stand for the former.
Taking away the votes for everybody. It was important to me to bring my son because I want him to remember that we were on the right side of history when we were here. I want them to know how important it is for people that came before us, that they fought for the freedom to vote for our democracy in the United States. And this is what a democracy is.
I'm originally from Ecuador. I was born in Ecuador, and I know what it means to leave everything behind, arrive in this country to look for a better life. Our struggles are parallel. The migration stories, how Black Americans had to leave to get better places. Those are things that they resonate deeply with the immigrant community. And one of the things that many immigrants, many people of color don't realize is that all these gains were through Black activism. And that's what we mentioned, the blood, the tears, and the sweat. The work that we're doing is based on that foundation. If it wasn't for the Civil Rights Act, immigrants would not have any rights as well.
Hey y'all, it's Congress Walker here this morning with Congresswoman Jennifer McClellan of Virginia. How are you doing this morning, Congresswoman?
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good.
Well, we're here today to talk about the Louisiana v. Calais ruling that continues to have horrible, horrible effects for our democracy right away. We've seen with state after state, they're implementing Jim Crow gerrymanders. So I'm here to ask you, Congresswoman, as a Virginia Southern Democrat, as a member of the Congressional Black Caucus, what kind of effect is this going to have on Black communities all across the South?
So it's a devastating blow to voting rights, to Black political voting power. What we are seeing in these southern states is them cracking Black voting strength among districts so that they really won't have a voice and don't have the opportunity to elect the candidate of their choice.
Can you hear me now?
What's really
Can you hear me now? Okay, yeah, probably you couldn't hear me. I don't know my thing on. Anyway, listen, I don't know who's even doing this thing. This is all fake and phony. They find a few people say, oh, we understand. Most of them don't. Most of them are racist, and most of them don't. They ain't been in no fight with us, and they've been in the street with us doing no fight never. So it's like finding three people because they trying to show that, oh, you got allies. As Black people, globally, Black in America, we have no allies, and you better come to that conclusion. As Dr. John Harry Clark said, we told you we have no allies. And sadly enough, Black people, if you learn how to stop hating on each other and tribalism, wherever you go at, you don't need any allies because you're the majority on the planet. But people want to always divide you, and you end up dividing ourselves. But
Lost your train of thought.
Huh? What happened?
You lost your train of thought.
Yeah. I heard some weird noise. That's somebody outside.
It's matatus. The matatus making.
Okay, that's sound like a clown. Somebody was like a circus guy, like a clown car or something. Anyway, so that's them trying to rebrand themselves because Black people finally woken up. Because you can't name shit to the Democratic Party, even though you switched over there. You can't name nothing, and they're scared because they took this autopsy, guys. I don't know if Joey showed that yet. The Democratic Party took an autopsy and said Black people they just didn't show up to vote at all. We just stayed home because it was nothing to vote for. We knew the scam was out. What am I going to vote for? No racist ass Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is racist, just racist as a lot of morons on TikTok. Kamala Harris is an Indian. She comes from a culture that's just as racist as goddamn Donald Trump is. So there was no light between them. We still would have been in a war with Iran, remember, because 8 years prior, you had the Democratic moron, Hillary Clinton tell you, if I get elected, I'm going to go to war with Iran. Remember, that's why Donald Trump won the vote in 2016. Right? Because we didn't want to go no more dumbass wars. And the Democrats were talking about going to wars because they're controlled by the same people. So the idea that she wasn't going to take you to war, that's right. We don't get any choices. The choices is, both choices are bad and both choices are controlled by the same people. And so the Democratic Party is established to do nothing for people because they got the same donors, same group of billionaires control both parties. So whoever gets in, nothing. You've been having the same shit since Reagan, right? Reagan, then Clinton, and then Reagan, George Bush Sr., and then Clinton, then George Bush Jr., and then Obama, and then Trump the first time, and then Biden. What's changed? Shit has got worse because you have no real representation. The country's gone downhill. China's now, how the hell China get past this because of these policies that they did? There's no way China could ever surpass the United States if the United States is actually working on the behalf I'm trying to get over. If any of these parties actually working on your behalf, remember the Democratic Party, when the Clinton gave out the working class people because they wanted the rich donors, right? They wanted the rich donors that the Republicans have. Everybody knew the scam about the Republican Party. The rich, that's why they remember Republicans could never win Congress for like 40 years. They could never win because everybody knew the Republicans was a white man's party. And they just help the rich. And when they get in power, they give all the money to the rich and fuck everybody else. But through racism, they figure out, you know, like I told you, Southern strategy, said we got to figure out a different way to fool these white people and just be racist, but we got to be slick about our racism. We got to now code it. We can't just call these niggas, and we got to set propaganda that, you know, that they hate black people more, and we'll say that the government is giving them more than they're actually getting. You know, we're not going to give them shit, and we never give them shit, but we're going to tell that, we're going to use code to teach white people that. But all this time, right? All this time, they never, damn, all this time, they never wanted to do anything for anybody. They actually betrayed their own white base, the white working class, but the white working class left them because they're racist. They all joined the Republican Party, even though you broke. Remember, everybody knew Republicans were for rich people, but all the poor white people became Republicans because of racism. And so they always got fucked. But they say, oh yeah, I'm white, and we can still, yeah, run the country as long as I'm white. But the Democratic scam was to fool black people with the implication is that the Democratic Party is going to be fighting white supremacy on your behalf. But now after 60 years, you know it's a lie. The Democrats were locking up black people. The Democrats were doing every heinous thing they could to black people, right? Locking us up. What's it called? The cocaine and crack rule. So, you know, the Democratic Party has been knocking us in the head for 60 years. And so, it says black people are not sophisticated enough as voters. What I'm looking for, sophisticated as voters, right? We kept falling for the same scheme over and over. We kept falling for the same thing over and over again. We kept falling for the same thing over and over again, the banana in the tailpipe. They would use all kind of feel-good shit, but and then they put Negroes in high places. They put black faces in some high places who didn't do shit for you. They act like, oh, look at them. Look at the same way they do in Africa with these fake black presidents, right? The same scam. It's brilliantly wicked because it's the same fucking scam over and over again. So it's the same scam over and over again, right? Same scam. And so they put a bunch of handkerchief-head Negroes in power, a fake power. They said, look, things have changed. You got black mayors, you got black congressmen who never did anything for you. That's for the Democrats. That's why you got all these fake Democrats down crying, right? Because now their whole damn scam is going away. Their whole damn seats are going away in the House of Congress. Their whole seats are going away now. You know, the scam is now dying, right? Scam is now dying. So that's what you have going on right now. So scam is dying.
Let me share this video as we continue.
Keep note and be wary of people that had the most to say today when the DNC dropped their autopsy report, but when the Republicans gutted the Voting Rights Act, they had nothing to say. They may or may not be progressive, but we do know that they are not progressive for Black Americans. Because if you could take time out of your day to read that DNC autopsy report and compel yourself to make a video, When that Voting Rights Act passed, when everyone was talking about it, everyone had a thing to say, you chose to skip. You chose not to make a video. You chose to be on the sidelines, or you chose to be in the comment sections. But were you on the front lines making videos, being mad and outraged? No, the fuck you weren't. But when the DNC drops their autopsy report and it doesn't have anything to say about Israel and Gaza, you have the most to say. You want to be the loudest in the room. But just know, we are noticing some patterns with you people. You claim to be progressive, but you're not progressive for Black Americans and what's best for us. But you're progressive for everybody else. And then you want to gaslight us that we're the bad people because we want to care about Black Americans and what's best for us when nobody else cares for our best interests but us. So yeah, keep note of these leftists that had the most to say about the DNC autopsy report today, but they didn't have shit to say about the Voting Rights Act being slashed.
No, today is primary election. Nothing about your voting rights being snatched whatsoever. They don't care.
In Alabama. And before you decide to sit this one out, I need you to remember something. There was a time in America when Black people could literally be unalive for trying to vote. People were beaten with clubs, attacked by dogs, police dogs at that, hit with fire hoses, lynched, fired from their jobs, threatened by white supremacist groups, like everything. All because they wanted to have a voice in this country. In Alabama, this ain't ancient history either. This is the same state where Black people marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge during the Selma movement and got brutally attacked on Bloody Sunday just for demanding voting rights. Our ancestors didn't go through all of this just for us to sit at home talking about my vote don't matter. Yes, these primary elections, they matter because a lot of decisions that affect your everyday life starts right here at the local and state level. School boards, judges, district attorneys, state lawmakers, policies, maps, funding, all that matters. And let's be honest, Alabama has already shown us that they are willing to make laws and redraw districts in ways that limit or silence Black representation. That's why voting matters. And on top of all that, parts of the Voting Rights Act were gutted in recent years, hell, recent months. Protections our grandparents fought for have been weakened. That should make you even want to vote more, bruh. Don't hand your power away by doing nothing. Oh yeah, and today is also Malcolm X's birthday. Now yes, Malcolm X had mixed views on voting throughout his life. But one thing he always pushed was Black empowerment, political awareness, and Black people taking control of their own future. So Alabama, today is not the day to stay home. Our ancestors were beaten, jailed, terrorized, and even unalived just for trying to do what many of us can do in minutes today. Get your ass up and vote. Don't let their sacrifice become a forgotten story. Exercise your right, all right? Like for more.
Some people keep repeating this DNC autopsy report like they discovered the smoking gun, when really all they did was dust for fingerprints while ignoring who was holding the damn weapon the entire time. Kamala Harris did not spend her campaign wrapped in identity politics. She spent it talking about issues tied directly to people's survival, affordable wages.
Now you see this nonsense? See, this is Democratic shield talk. This is fake talk. See, they want to keep confusing you with bullshit. Kamala Harris is not a friend of Black people, never has been. But they get their boot-licking goons that say, oh, Kamala Harris, well, she wasn't identity. Exactly what she did when she was locking up Black people in goddamn fucking, in goddamn California, and then keeping Black people in prison in California when she was Attorney General of that state. See, this is all, they always get a handkerchief head, especially for Black women. They want to give you some boot-licking handkerchief head to talk crazy to you. Say, they did good things for you. Shit without identity. You can't name shit Kamala Harris ever did for Black people when she was in California, when she was a senator of California. Nothing. You can't name a goddamn thing that's no good for our done. Nothing. But they want to now revive her as some kind of fighter for Black people when she was locking Black people asses up in goddamn California. And then they try to change her history as if she wasn't selling her coochie to get position. She was actually sleeping with men to get position. Kamala Harris was selling all kind of coochie. So this is known. Judge O'Brien was doing Me and JoJo Brown show with Joby that time. You're giving up all kind of coochie. This is a known fact. So they're trying to make her. They trying to rewrite her history. Oh, she's a saint. She didn't do all this. She don't tell you she was giving up her booty. You know, giving up them butt cheeks to get positions. You know, he's known. You know, I sleep with the San Francisco mayor, a low down Willie Brown ass, right? You know, sleep with all kind of, sleep with all kind of crazy coochie. So, you know, this is nobody trying to make, oh, Kamala Harris is doing all these great things, and oh my God, and how great was she? And you're like, what are you talking about? So they want you to forget all about that. They want you to forget, and that's what I'm saying. Since they get paid, it's just despicable to keep you running on that same a treadmill to nowhere over and over again. You run on that same damn goofy treadmill to nowhere, right? On the same damn treadmill to nowhere. That's what they want to keep. The same damn treadmill to nowhere. You know, don't make any damn sense. Oh, she was. Oh, look what she was doing there. She was not doing any politics. Remember, who controls Kamala Harris? AIPAC. Put us up, Joe. Put us up. Yeah. See, that's how I know these. We always get them. That's why, as black people, you got to start becoming more politically sophisticated. You know, they think we're all stupid and we lack sophistication. That's why they keep using these schemes against us, right? So, put us up on TikTok. Say, yeah, they try to go back. I know she was laying with everybody, selling her coochie for jobs. That's a fact. And that's not allegedly on nothing. We know that's a fact. You know, you want some of my coochie? Give me a job. Anyway, so say Kamala Harris rebrands the Freedmen's Bank. Rebrands the Freedmen's Bank. But she destroyed the bank that was built by black Americans for black Americans. She destroyed that. And this Glaze talking about she's your buddy. See, they don't want you. They hoping on a lot of you guys are caught up, black people, caught up in entertainment, all other kind of goofy shit. You really don't never know what's going on.
It says Kamala Harris did not rebrand the Freeman's Bank, but she was in the Treasury Department's initiatives to honor and expand upon its historic tradition during her times as vice president.
I would say you put a video on TikTok.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Sorry, let me pull up.
You can do it that way too.
Kamala Harris.
You see, apparently, Kamala Harris decided to add other groups to the Freedmen Bank.
Exactly. So this is her trying to steal. So this is her trying to steal money from black people. The little money we have, she was trying to steal it for Indians and other motherfuckers, the East Indians, her people, other people. So she blatantly, hoping that you wouldn't know this, but see, I'm a political animal. When you get to talk, get some bootlicking, handkerchief head woman up in there. Kamala Harris was good and didn't do project. Why she's robbing your black ass blind? Go ahead, Joby.
A little bit as well. The Freedmen Bank, it was created for freedmen, those who are free, were freed from slavery. Those who are IOS and like their descendants, obviously American descendants of slavery. That's what the Freedmen's Bank was created for. Yeah. There's a reason why it's freedmen.
Exactly. And remember, white people stole millions out of that account. So she was going back to the white playbook to steal millions out of that account. Steal black people's money. Because white people stole millions out of that account. Millions. Go ahead, Joby.
Not Black People Bank, right? So apparently last year, she decided to collaborate with the U.S. Department of Treasury and make changes to the Freedmen's Bank. Don't have to believe me. Here's speech here, and then I'm going to show you the text to highlight some of the changes that have been made. And I think if you are freedmen, I think you're not going to be happy about this if you didn't know about it. Here we go.
So Freedmen's Savings Bank was founded by the United States Congress in 1865. It was a bank unlike any other our nation had known. Freedmen's Bank was established to serve Black Americans newly freed from slavery.
So notice, once again, she tells you exactly what the bank was established for. So here is Kamala Harris openly admitting she knows who this bank was for. Let's go on.
To help them build wealth and to build a better future. At Freedmen's, to open a savings account, you just needed 5 cents, which, as I've calculated, is about $1 today. In the years after its founding, tens of thousands of Black families opened an account at Freedmen's. They saved up to buy a farm, to build a home, to open a business. Even school children saved their pocket money to deposit it in this institution. And then 9 years later, after the bank first opened its doors, because of an economic downturn and because of the organized assault on the project of Reconstruction, Freedmen's Bank was forced to close. Over 60,000 people lost their savings. Now, Freedmen's Bank was guided by a vision. The vision of an economy that works for all Americans and includes all Americans.
Let me pause. So you see what she's doing? Notice how includes all Americans. So this is something I do want to point out. A lot of times people bring up Black Wall Street, the burnings of Black Wall Streets. There are several different Black Wall Streets at that time. But a lot of times people bring that up as another example when freedmen lost their wealth in this country. But that's not the only example. This is another example here, the Freedmen's Bank, where all those people lost their wealth. So just keep that in mind.
Good morning, family. A few of my friends on here sent me this video, and it definitely hit me in my heart space. And I really want y'all to share this video. I want y'all to make this sister go viral, because it confuses me how many Black Americans get in my comments and send me DMs who seem to either not give a fuck about how Americans have been affected by the shit that these people have done, or maybe they have amnesia. So hopefully this will trigger their memory bank. And yeah, let's check it out.
I need this message to go out to our vice president who's running for president. I have heard all over social media about, excuse me if I say anything wrong, immigrants getting loans, money. It was hard for me to believe. It was just extremely hard for me to believe. I've been in business such a long time. Back in 2019, I purchased my first food truck. It cost me over $25,000. I paid it cash money. I worked hard to pay for this truck. I'm now selling it because I'm doing other things, but I'm selling.
Because you can't get no loan like they do. Exactly right. You can't get no loan because you're Black. That was set up for us. She's trying to give it to her Indian people. This shit is crazy. And they'll have the boot looks like Joe. We just showed Kamala Harris was good. And see, because they know you're not. It's Black people. You forget that you're not sophisticated. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, keep playing.
I had a guy come to look at purchasing my vehicle or my food truck, and he explained to me he's an illegal immigrant. He has no credit. He has no money in the bank. But he showed me his paperwork that he will receive funds to purchase my food truck. I'm thankful that he's buying it, but I'm hurt that I worked so hard to pay cash for my food truck. I have good credit, can't even get a business loan because of the color of my skin. I have veterans in my family. I'm a veteran. I've been self-employed for so long. But somebody, please tell me, how do I work so hard to have somebody who comes to this country, not long, no credit, and he shows me paperwork where they'll be funding him money to buy my food truck. And when I talked to the bank, they told me,
remember the scammers make sure you stay on the scammers make sure you stay on the bottom. They'll finance everybody but you, because remember, white supremacy is black on the bottom, everybody else in the middle. He's a little ignorant, but they give money to him, not to you, because that has changed the damn racial code they got that they built globally. So that's what goes on, and that's what Kamala Harris is trying to do. And you'll have motherfuckers, especially sad to say, black women, dumbass, will come to you, oh, Kamala Harris is going to be fighting for us. And you're like, are you out of your fucking mind? You know, most black women, I will say a lot of them know that Kamala Harris is a snake in the grass, you know, selling her rotten ass coochie, you know, for votes and shit, you know. and you know, she's married to what? She's married to one of those folks, you know, in the comics, they all be married to one of them folks. Ain't that funny? She married to one of those cats with the hats. So you think she married one of those cats with the hats and she's there helping us? You know, that's a lie.
Straight to a dealership because I'm a private sale.
But
for special circumstances, they're going to, they allow it. But I need my president to tell me why I worked so hard all these years, all these decades.
See, sis, remember, this was Joe Biden was in office and Kamala Harris was in there. She probably not even know about the damn Freedman Bank that was going on. This lady probably not know. Because they've been told to build a fucking fake goods with the MLK shit. You've been raised your whole life in propaganda. You've been inundated with fucking lies and propaganda your whole fucking life. And since black people don't read shit, don't take time to start investigating shit, look, at a young age I did, so I could connect dots and understand that you're being propagandized to think a certain way. You know, well, because the Democratic Party is not set to help you, lady. Like the Republican Party, they're Republican light. They're racist. They just don't say nigga in your face. They call you nigga behind your back. But it's the same policy to keep you on the bottom. That's why you can't say in 60 years, even with Barack Obama's stinking ass, hated black people. Ain't do shit for nobody black, whether it be American or African. And I say, he didn't do shit for black people in America. He didn't do shit for black people in Africa either. Because that's the scam. Black faces in high places. So with Obama, no good ass, right? People was all excited. Even my mama was getting mad when she told us, I said, Mom, it's too much bad shit I didn't already put up on this dude. He's a fake, he's a phony. Can't you just give him, because they know you're emotional. Black people are emotional. Can't you just give him a chance? Well, you always got to be bad. You always got to just be doubting people. Who told you to, my mom said, who told you to investigate anybody? What? Mom, Obama's a phony. You're going to find out he's a fraud. This is a scam to pull at black people's hearts. They have you believe in the fake democracy and go around and vote. And of course, black people went out and voted for Obama with astronomical numbers. That's why he won overwhelmingly. He won so much they couldn't steal it from his ass if they wanted to. But the second time, Obama's numbers was down. And by the time he was leaving office, everybody hated his ass. Black people hated his ass, right? He couldn't get nobody to vote for Hillary Clinton. That was, he said, I feel it'd be a threat to me, a personal slight on me if you don't vote for Hillary Clinton. Black people said, fuck you, nigga, right? And Hillary was out to tell me, I'm going to have war with Iran because it doesn't matter what party you're in. They're controlled by the same people. And the system is supposed to keep black people on the bottom. That's why they're fighting so hard in Africa, to make sure Africans stay on the bottom. No matter anything, have you seen why they fight so hard to keep Africa on the bottom? At least give Africa half their money because it'll fuck up their pyramid scheme. They're obsessed. So what the hell does Kamala Harris have to do with the goddamn Freedmen's Bank? Nothing. Why is she going to attack black people's money to get everybody else so you can stay impoverished? That's why. But go ahead, Joby.
Get a business loan, but I bust my ass to get the money to create my business. And we got immigrants coming here. And they're getting money.
So am I still lying? Are we, the MAGA cult, are we still lying? Because it's only a matter of time before it hits your front door. It's only a matter of time before it hits your employer or your business. Because I'm quite sure a lot of people out here who may have went through similar situations did not expect for them to have financial hardships in which the government skipped them over to give to people who just got here a year ago. And this is just the tip of the iceberg here, because we're not going to talk about how many people out here went to jail or prison, served their time, finally had jobs thanks to President Trump, only for those jobs to be taken and given to illegal immigrants. So when people get on here and they say, oh, well, they're doing jobs Americans don't do. You mean construction? You mean warehouse work, retail work, food workers? Because last I checked, those were the jobs that most Americans were actually doing. So if you think for a second that this won't affect you just because you think by voting for this lady, you're protected, you got another thing coming, because these people eat their own. So you're just meat for the lions.
Pause.
So I guess the Kamala HQ announcement is that they've rebranded themselves as a platform to basically try to say stuff that's mean against Donald Trump. And they use the number 67, so it's headquarters _67, due to the fact that they are trying to appeal to the youth. And as many people know, using the number 67 is guaranteed way to get people to vote for a candidate who otherwise would not be very appetizing. As you can see, they're basically trying to dunk on Trump, copying Gavin Newsom, I would say. With that said, I'm happy because I was worried that she was going to announce like that she was running for president or governor or something. And obviously we don't want to have to deal with another loss like we had in 2024, because that was truly devastating. And a lot of people say it's because of the fact that she did not differentiate herself from Biden, who is responsible for many deaths in Israel.
Yeah, so let me go through the comments of all of you guys as we continue. I see shout to everyone with us in the house. Joy Kelly was saying that no one is saying not to vote, yet why vote when you have no definitive candidates or organizations with accountability or power? Still political champs. Shout out to Jason and also Jaba Jaba in the building, who says for only supported welfare for whites. She learned history from AI. And I also see Jack says Melody Angel, another integrationist, black revolutionary that has a foundation in entertainment. And shout out to Cages as well. Jarek asking, what has the black vote gotten the black people? Good question. And I also see Keisha says, read the message, the name in the message. Okay, I think we got it. And I also see Jackie says, watching these clowns pisses me off. Left, right voting, fruitcakes, synthetic looking black women. Okay, wow. Jiba Jaba says, American blacks are too divided to vote in a singular bloc to extend power and affect lasting change for the collective. I don't think it's actually just the Black Americans. I do believe it's Black people globally were divided. To not even know who is good for us. I don't know if it really makes sense. George Shat Demore, I see in the chat. 10 Speed Karibu says, when it comes to Republicans and Democrats, I'd rather have a honest racist than I can't do nothing for you, Democrat. And also adding that Joe Biden has the House and Senate his first 2 years are as a president, and he didn't get the voting right. And Obama in 2013 didn't fix anything as well. And also adding that migration, every Black person that left the South, guess what? They were American citizens with an American birth certificate and social security and card, no comparison. And see, Jibba says, what cost $1 in 1965 costs $12 today in 2026. At the intense speed that says the demon rats paid the Demon Rats party did one thing smart. They brought all the media outlets, and Ten Speed says this was my last president voting, never again. Man, I've never voted, and as much as I also I'm still not going to vote. Yeah, I'm not going to vote. These are the same shit until we.
It is, but yours is a different thing. You are the majority, so you should go vote this time because you guys got to. Don't try to be stolen. So to me, it's a different flavor, because you're the majority. We're the minority. You guys can flex in power. We don't have any
Yeah.
power to flex. There's a
I have
difference.
majority representing me already on the ballot paper. So I'm cool. But I also see Joseph says Kamala taught us how to wash collard greens in the bathtub. Damn,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
bathtub.
yeah. Because she was trying to, yeah, yes. That when she was trying to get black votes. Black people eat what you call screamer wiki. So she was
Yeah.
pandering. That was she was pandering, like she was pretending she was one of us. Same when she went to Africa. So I remember my grandfather in Africa. Me and TNT, that grandfather was Indian and a racist. He left that part off, right? He left the part that their granddad over in Zambia was a racist Indian. She left that part. My granddad was part of Africa and when it was getting free and the revolutionary Africans. That's a lie. There's no Indians help no Africans get free or nothing. So that was a lie.
Yeah, and also see Jerome says Judge Joe Brown is a whole snitch. Jiba adding that Judge Joe is just salty. He didn't tap it. Yeah, oh my god. That's crazy. But also says F all that we are talking about the money, you Negroes. And Sail the Seven Seas says Caribou Sana says I was kicked off. I was kicked off. What? I'm trying to get that sentence correctly. I was kicked off our brand. It is our brand of 10 black. Our band of 10 black TikTok platform 2025 to 2026 about Obama and Kamala Harris not being NAGA. Not being not being I think black, that's what you mean. And the internet need to go away. Nobody outside anymore. Man, grammar, Ricky, grammar. But anyway, I also see he adds that that's why I never eat from any Asia, Mexican, fake, Mid East, Caribbean, Africa, and Caucasian food trucks, only expensive pretended restaurants. And says here in Minnesota, I see lots of Mexican food stand.
Pretending Christmas. You always gotta come talking your shit, goddamn Ricky. Pretending, only pretending fool. Okay.
In Minnesota, I see a lot of Mexican stamps trucks. I work with a lot of Mexicans. They take care of them, of their own. And Jiba says we don't eat out or take away. The convenience is not worth the health risk. That's what's up. Danny says that this was all baked in the cake. They are bringing all these illegals to this country to create a demographic crisis. Ricky adding, Black America are not for far divided. If dummies Black America come together, we have large Black military. Then you should just be nice, polite with the language. They don't have to be dummies. Come on. But also, Daddy says all of these illegals are going to be on board for the white supremacist agenda. They were racist in their country, so it will be the same over here. 10 Speed says, Keith, your boy Floyd is broke. The Jays cheated him. He said he stands with the Israel. And John Musto says, Joby, if you don't vote, tomato prices will continue to increase. I know, man. Shit. Don't even go there. But I said earlier, at least the prices have gone a little bit lower, with the tomato prices. For now, they're a little bit lower than the way they were. They're back to at least a normal price we are used to. Not so normal, but it's better than how it was 2-3 weeks ago. It was crazy. And Aaron James Karibu Sana says, I just came in late and I don't know the topic, but I wanted to know what Keith thought about Floyd Mayweather getting over 100 million stolen from him by his juice box manager.
But yeah, but by his J's, I think I think it's poetic justice and good for him. He was up there talking about, I don't care what I'm having Joby show that video. I don't care what it is. I'm about Israel every day, about Israel. When they stole 150 million from his stupid ass. He said he gonna sue him. You sue who? They control all the damn courts, you moron. So he's already broke, right? He got $1 billion he went broke from because he's an idiot. Imagine $1 billion. You're too stupid to keep $1 billion. You're a moron. So he was king for Jews and they once stole all the rest of the little bit of money he had left. It was like 150 million from his ass. He ain't gonna he going to change his nickname from Money Mayweather to Broke Mayweather. I'm broke.
I'm not with you guys 10%, 50%. I will always be the voice for the people in Israel. I will always stand behind the country of Israel.
See that? And look, and we always know he was a coon, right? He's a super coon. All these they always know super coon. So he knows he can't go Kanye. Kanye's a coon, but Kanye went off the reservation and told the truth one time and tried to jump his ass back on the reservation, but they won't take his ass back. He did his coon and then came out and told some truth and got kicked off the damn plantation. This dude has always been on the plantation. He's a super coon. He's stupid. He can't read. He can't write. They stole all his money from him. So you see, ain't nobody coming to his rescue. The same people that's I'm having Joe show this. I'm having Joe look it up. We say Floyd Mayweather going broke. I'm gonna type that up on TikTok too. He stole all his money. We go ahead, Joe. Let me talk.
In Israel, I will always be here for you guys when you guys don't have a voice.
Yeah, there's such thing as a house nigga and a goddamn field nigga. This is a house nigga. And that's why they stole all his money. The same people he's loving and supporting, they stole all his rest of his little bit of money he got. He broke. He can't pay no bills. People file lawsuits against his ass. And I love it. Go ahead, Joe.
You love it.
Behind Israel, I wasn't looking for an award. I felt I did what was right. And when you choose your side, you stay on that side. And this is the side that I chose. I take my hat off to the soldiers, those warriors in Israel. I'm behind you guys once again, 100%. I'm all about peace. I'm all about love. I'm all about happiness. I truly want the soldiers to continue to hold your heads up high, continue to smile, continue to love one another, because life is short and all we have is our loved ones. And that's why love and your family is priceless. Let's continue to fight and stand behind one another. And once again, this is the side that I chose, and I will continue to stand behind this side right here. Thank you. And like I said before,
Crazy, crazy. But let's look at this.
That's crazy work, Joby. Crazy work.
Floyd Mayweather
Crazy
says
work.
he reportedly got cleaned out to the tune of $175 million.
What?
Claiming a former close associate ran a year-long scheme that allegedly drained his bank accounts, hijacked real estate deals, pawned off his jewelry, and even made his private jet disappear.
Damn.
According to TMZ, Floyd says roughly $100 million worth of bling has handed over to a Miami jeweler for only $13 million in return. And he said a huge chunk of the collection is still sitting with the dealer. Floyd also says he unknowingly signed paperwork transferring ownership of his Gulfstream jet with a buyer section left blank, and says he still doesn't know where the aircraft money went. Floyd also reportedly has been ordered to pay more than $1 million in child support after a Nevada judge ruled the retired boxer fathered a 4-year-old girl born to a former dancer at his Las Vegas strip club. Floyd also faced a reported $7.3 million IRS lien. Ocho, with the lavish lifestyle that Floyd has built over the years, the jet and entourage nonstop spending, has he created a lifestyle that when he was making $200-400 million a year, he was able to enjoy? Has he created something that he can no longer keep up with?
Yeah, I think so, because if you think about Floyd obviously having to maintain the image of being Money Mayweather Joe, being at one point, being at Top's highest paid Forbes, top highest paid athlete at one point, the lifestyle that he did live, you understood once you stop fighting, once you retired, regardless of what investments you made, there are no investments in this world, I don't care who you are, Uncle Joe, that you can make that can still accumulate that type of revenue that the sport that you play can. It's not that many. You got to hit. You got to get in good and hit it when it's hot, and it happens very seldom. It happens very seldom. So I hate this. I hate this for you, my young bull, man. I hate this for my young bull, Floyd. Hopefully, this situation gets rectified, especially when it comes to having people around you, having other people in control of your finances. That's a no-no, Joe. That's a no-no.
Man,
that is a big no-no, especially with the kind of cash
Not
flow.
no blank, though.
Floyd
Ocho, you know you can't sign anything blank. Ocho, when they come to us and they try to get us to sign these blanks when it comes to our autograph, bro. Do you know how many jerseys that you can put these on? Do you know how many pictures you could? No, bro. I'm not signing no blanks.
Look,
I'm not gonna address the child situation. Whatever he and hopefully the co-parent will get that worked out, get that resolved. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't really care. I don't really care about that. Hopefully, whatever needs to be done will get done.
Damn.
But first of all, before I get to second, third, Ocho.
Yeah, talk to
$100 million in jewelry.
Damn.
Ocho.
Yeah.
$100 million in jewelry, Ocho.
But hey, Uncle, it's Money Mayweather, Unc. It's Money Mayweather. He had an image to uphold.
100 million, bro.
I got about 100 cars, but right here, we like to call this the Sweet 16. Lambo, Ferrari.
See how stupid he is? What you buy? Why you need 100 cars?
Whatever you want to call it. The Maybach truck or Maybach truck, whatever you want to call it. I got
That's
options.
that, Joby. Now this is what a moron does. Nobody rich does this. This is a moron, and that's why he's broke. Right? And all these money. He won't be able to sell these cars because they're all depreciated. That's what an idiot does. Because he's insecure. This is what I got here. Look at that dude. Look at it. He's insecure. He's an idiot. And so when you got an idiot has money, it's always going to disappear. You need to have him a good woman that can help him. But he's too stupid. But he wouldn't listen because his ego would be too big. It's good. You need a good woman. So listen here, you're doing too much. You're buying too much shit. You're gonna destroy us, dummy. But it's too late now. This dude's going back to the ghetto where he came from. Go ahead, Joe.
I don't know what I want to take out tonight. Take this.
I think this goes back to what we were discussing yesterday, because I was trying to think about it. There's black spending power, right? And where a majority of the black people don't own anything, but yet they're spending a lot. I feel like this is a good example if I'm understanding it all well, because I feel like black people, I've seen it, especially the black celebrities, they waste a lot of money on the designers, new cars every month, Birkin bags and all that. I don't know if it really makes sense, but I was trying to think about it because today I was seeing a story from a certain black American lady, and I was like, damn, I can't waste money on all this, you know.
You
Those are-
you understand it exactly, Joe. What you did, what we just said, that ties in what we were talking about yesterday. It all ties in. That's true. Spending power, you just spend on goopy brands. What is Floyd built? He's built poverty, Joe. He's taken all that money and built himself right into poverty. Go ahead. So, after this, Joe, I want you to type in say Floyd Mayweather's going broke.
Yeah,
He
this is
already
the
he
one.
really okay,
It's the one.
he's already broke. Got about 100.
Yeah, this is the videos.
That's how all my pod.
Let's see.
On the verge of bankruptcy. No wonder Floyd Mayweather is almost broke. No wonder we keep hearing rumors that he is on the verge of bankruptcy. You want to know one of the ways that
the real flex is assets, man. When will people understand? The real flex is assets. You know, when you have a land somewhere, you have your own mansion or castle being built somewhere, you know, build your own castle or mansion somewhere. If I was him, if probably I would have bought a land somewhere, probably in Africa, because I believe owning lands in America, that is just also another big problem as a Black person. But in Africa, where you desire, look for a developed country that you like, do research, buy acres of land, you know, let that be your second home, if not your first home, in case anything happens. I don't know, but maybe I think different than majority.
rich people stay rich. They don't invest their money in depreciating assets, which means they don't invest their money in anything with
Exactly
a
what Joe.
combustion engine or
Exactly what Joby just
jewelry.
said. Land, it's like what Joby said. You don't put your money in shit that's gonna lose money. That's stupid. But he owns houses, but he's going to have to sell them. He owns a bunch of houses. He owns houses in Las Vegas, New York. But the one in New York he's being sued for because he couldn't pay the wheel to Miami, LA. But he should have bought them outright. I guess he only paid the mortgage. In Africa, you got to pay for that house complete. So he had a mortgage he's paying every month. So he don't got no money no more. So so why would you buy shit that don't make you money? Why would you buy shit that loses a bunch of cars? Who you trying to? Because he's insecure, he's trying to press people with shit no one gives a fuck about. Your cars, you losing money on that shit, and then when you sell them, you getting not even half the value. You'll be getting like a third of the value. So you're gonna stay broke because you're a moron.
So sad. That is sad.
When I was growing up in the 90s,
That ain't sad. That's delicious. I couldn't happen to a nicer coon bootleg, Joby. This is perfect. This is called karma. God damn it. Damn right. Could happen to a nicer bootleg. Yeah.
You should buy at least a bunch of cows, you know, become a big milk supplier, you know, buy some chicken, become egg supplier, you know, do things that are going to generate you money that later you can now buy these cars you want or even one. Why do you need all those cars? I don't get it. You know, personally, I never get why you need to have like 6 different type of cars. It's moving the same. I don't know. Maybe the mileage might be different, but
He told
still,
you at 100, not 6, 100.
it's still gonna get you to where you want your destination. God damn it. Shit. This is so crazy.
Extreme. Celebrities were flaunting their wealth. Rappers were bragging about their money.
They do.
Money, hoes, cars, and clothes. That's how all my partners roll.
Wow.
24-inch rims, TVs in the headrest, flaunting the fact that we're flying commercial while they are chartering flights. The extravagant lifestyle, a life of excess, it was mainstream. Back then, when I would watch their videos on MTV, my dad used to tell me all the time, a fool and his money will soon part. As I have gotten older, I've come to the realization that my dad is usually right, and he was damn sure right about a fool and his money. If you don't believe me, just look at Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather has never been viewed as a brilliant scholar or a wise philosopher. Hell, I don't know if Floyd Mayweather even knows how to read. But there is one.
I was shocked when kid told me that thing, like he doesn't know how to read. It's crazy. And it's always it's sad. It's always the uneducated, the ones who can't read, that waste money like that. Crazy, It's so sad. This is why I feel like financial education should be, or financial literacy should be literally very common to the Black society or the Black people, because you're not gonna do this kind of stupidity when you become a millionaire. Because I've seen how someone might win a lottery and then within a month or two they're broke because you don't know financial literacy. You go number one announcing to people, you wanna flex, and that's a big problem. Keep quiet, keep your money to yourself. As a matter of fact, act broke if possible. Go begging so people can always talk shit about you, but you have money. Move silently. But Black people always wanna just flex, show up all day. I'm a millionaire now. You're always talking shit. Nah, I'm a millionaire. Come on. Chill. Go get some financial literacy education. Get involved with group of people who can help you learn how to invest and all that. Man, I always say if I grab me some huge money, I'm going to the village straight away, look for my uncle and tell him, yo, I want a land. Can you help me get a piece of land around here, where I'm not gonna be having no issues with anybody? Because my mom, if it was not cancer, my mom wanted to buy a land. So she had to spend all her money. She had saved all of it. And at that time, actually, land was really cheap than the way it is right now. So she had to spend all her money on the chemotherapy, all that radiotherapy, all this cancer, whatever, that don't work. So financial literacy is really, really important. It's a discussion we keep on having every single time or once in a while, because it's not there, sadly.
One thing that he is really good at doing, to his credit, Floyd Mayweather knows how to make money. Problem is, that is only half the battle. There are a lot of people who know how to make money. The question is, can you keep it? You see,
Joe was saying the ones giving him financial education, they're the ones stealing away from him. That shows how much of also a stupid person he is, because that even shows more deeper of the stupidity. I don't know if it really makes sense, because you have financial advisors, but they're now even stealing more from you. Like, please. What's wrong with you?
For 10, 15 years, Floyd Mayweather has carefully cultivated this image. Look at me, I'm Money Mayweather. I still rep with them racks out. Got $250,000 in my Louis bag if you want to know what that sack about.
And sadly, that's why I'd say, man, because I always see the daughter always just involved. Yaya Mayweather, she's always just involved in scandals of fighting and all that. Just some stupid scandal. I'm like, man, ain't you a child of a millionaire or a billionaire, how long the money was? You're not supposed to be behaving this way, You're supposed to be behaving this way. But now I see it comes from the dad. Zero education. So that's lack of zero critical thinking or how to behave.
I'll tell you who wants to know what that sack bout. Not only does he want to know, once he finds out what it's about, he's going to confiscate everything inside, and he's going to take the sack too, just because he can. Most people refer to him as Uncle Sam, but the check Floyd Mayweather will soon be writing to him, it will be made out to the Internal Revenue Service. Floyd Mayweather has cultivated this image of Money Mayweather. In terms of entertainment, that's fine. But if you're gonna be Money Mayweather, you better be damn sure that you're watching your money. And Floyd Mayweather, he made the one mistake that you cannot make as a billionaire.
So from Money Mayweather to now Floyd Mayweather. So you're no longer Money Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather allowed someone else to control his money.
I hope this teaches literally the most of the black celebrities who have been kept there on top by the same cats with the small hats, you know, and being funded for doing whatever they're doing. I hope you learn something, you know, invest. Shout out to some few, I'd say some few, only few women, Black American women I see have brains. They'll start their own brands. It could be mostly it's clothes brands, makeup brands. I've seen that working out so well for most of the Black American women, young Black American women. So I hope it really teaches majority and the upcoming what this system can do to you. Today you're shining, tomorrow they take you right back to where you belong, at the bottom, right? It's crazy.
Breaking news, Floyd Mayweather is in big trouble with his money again. The undefeated boxing champ just filed a lawsuit saying he got scammed out of $175 million by some guys he trusted, including his close friend, Jonah Recknix, and a few others tied to shady deals. And according to the lawsuit, by the way, TMZ is reporting all this, they tricked him with fake investments, stole cash from wire transfers, lowballed him on $100 million worth of jewelry. He only got back like $13 million, and even made his private jet and other stuff disappear without telling him. But here's the simple news version. Floyd handed over control of his cash and deals to these guys, and now he claims they ripped him off big time. He wants every penny back plus extra punishment money. But here's the funny part, and yes, we are laughing hard at this one. Floyd spent years selling out hard for Israel. He visited the country, bragged about standing with them 100%, donated big money and supplies to their causes, including bulletproof vests and water, and even picked up awards like World Champion for Israel. He got super cozy with the same circle of guys who have strong ties to Israel. And what happened? The very people he was hyping up and supporting allegedly turned around and took him for $175 million. Classic clown move. You sold out for Israel, and they cleaned out your pockets. Floyd, the money man, got played like a rookie. Tough luck, champ. Maybe next time, read the fine print before you pick a team. This is nothing but laughable, and you deserve it.
Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell.
I remember watching this fight because my dad, being an ex-boxer, he was so excited about the Mayweather boxing that day. So I remember watching this. Now
the bishop can send him some money like a pastor, help him out.
Oh shit, it's crazy.
For assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro. As I've always said, it's hard to make money, but it's even harder to keep it.
You say you want to take this sport serious, then take it serious. What is this? This is not a popularity contest.
Oscar de la Hoya has recently stirred controversy by discussing claims surrounding Floyd Mayweather's financial situation, suggesting massive losses and alleged bankruptcy.
I have never in my entire life seen somebody truly believe they're absolutely killing it while they're actually doing jack shit.
Mayweather, widely known as Money Mayweather, built his reputation not only through an undefeated boxing career, but also through record-breaking pay-per-view success. Floyd is one of the highest-earning athletes in sports history. However, his post-retirement lifestyle has frequently drawn scrutiny due to his extravagant spending habits and high-profile business ventures.
And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell off your assets.
Oscar de la Hoya has claimed that Floyd Mayweather's comeback to boxing is driven by financial pressure rather than passion for boxing.
Another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always lost it.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
once
broke?
Again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
Floyd Mayweather is widely known for showcasing his wealth, owning multiple luxury mansions, and even purchasing several identical cars in matching colors. However, behind all the glamour and luxury displays, there are growing concerns about the reality of his financial habits and long-term stability.
This is like who everyone else gets their stuff from. And he told me, I'm not going to say who it is, but he's like, Mayweather's broke. I said, no. He's like, no, really, Mayweather's broke. Now, I don't know if it's true.
Right.
This is what this guy told me. I'm like, how could he be broke? He's like, yo, he spends like crazy.
Yeah.
Spends like
crazy.
crazy.
I mean, you only could go for so long. I mean, and you're not fighting.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Mayweather even doing any goofy shit like that.
But you would think that your investments would continue to grow.
Right.
As long as you keep your spending under wraps. Like right now, like I could retire right now. This could be my last interview ever.
Right.
And with my investments, I invested into a lot of great companies like Google and Amazon and Tesla over the years, and those companies have all grown and continue to grow, right? And I could actually borrow money against my stock portfolio without even selling my stocks.
Right.
In previous interviews, De La Hoya has compared Mayweather to Mike Tyson, pointing out how both fighters earned enormous fortunes during their prime, but faced different financial outcomes after retirement.
He's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, $500 million?
He told me flat out that Mayweather's broke right now. His spending has gotten so out of control that this is why he's coming back and again.
Oh, absolutely. But I've been knowing that.
Oh, you've known that?
Of course.
Explain.
Of course. Huh?
Explain.
Well, I mean, even in all those expeditions that he's been doing, Floyd was doing shows for $26,000. When Floyd fought Shane Mosley, I called Floyd and I was like, one of the casinos want to give you $150,000 for a 15-minute walkthrough. And they said they'll give me $30,000 to walk through with you. And he turned it down. Flashback 2 or 3 years later, he's running around with one of my guys, Link, from Memphis, and he's doing parties for $26,000, $30,000. So when I see him doing that, I'm like, Floyd doing a party for $25,000, $30,000? Something wrong with that.
My internet is tripping. Yes, I wait for it to come back. My internet is tripping. As we get closer to also winding up, I see Ugali. Did I see Ugali anywhere? But I see let me see. Shout out to Robin S. Who's in the house. Thank you for tuning in. Let me see where I left the comments from. Okay. John Mosquito said they confiscated his private jet for not paying debt. And Sale says that's country proper grammar, Joby. My bad. Oh, the country's proper grammar. You grew up in the countryside? I don't know. That's what you're trying to say. But
And this was like 6 years ago.
correcting me. Let me pause on that, then go through the comments and then wind up with that. I see Ten Speed says, okay, Keith, do a show on all black entertainers getting robbed by the Jays as far back as. And John Mosquito also adding, he was spending a whole lot of time with the brother Paul Light 3-4 years ago. And Jiba says, maybe he'll box a kangaroo in the carnival to make some bucks. Wow, really? You can box a kangaroo? You know, a kangaroo can slap the shit out of you. I don't know, but can kick the shit out of you. Man, I've seen a kangaroo fight, I don't know. I don't want to ever bump into a kangaroo in any type of... I bumped into some goose the other day after we talked about the goose, the duck, and I ran for my life. I was like, dang, no, hell no. Hell no. It would be so embarrassing, especially in front of kids, to see some goose trying to attack me. So, nah, I'm friendly with dogs, but I'm also careful being friendly with dogs since that video we saw, And John also says, did Floyd ever speak up for black people like this ever? I don't think so. We don't see any video of him talking about black people. So bet maybe not. Danny also says Floyd only says all this because he's broke. KW Don, nice to see you. Been a minute. I hope you're doing amazing. Says Floyd was too flashy and financially illiterate. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We need financial literacy within the black community. It's not just him. Trust me, we have a bunch of people who don't understand financial literacy. They get money and they just go blowing it out, wanna flex, especially when they get the big money. You think like this is gonna take you till forever, especially if you're misusing it. You're like, dang, it's crazy. But yeah, living above his means, exactly. Daniel also says, according to the report, he was on top of this business. Handle your business or your business will handle you, period. And John Muscle says, rumor has it Floyd can't read. Yeah, I think we've discussed that a couple of times. Keith has brought that conversation up a couple of times when we discussed Mayweather. And Jiba Jaba says, I'd have to be pretty creative to blow 10 million per day in a year. That is crazy. That is so crazy. Robin Caribou again says, she says he's just signed a blank too. They told him to give that white girl money. Damn. John Musto says 100 million on a senseless jewelry. For what? For what? For what? Man, if there's something that really amazes me, especially as a girl, I don't like all that flashiness. It surprises people when I say I don't even like flowers. I'm not that type of get me flowers type of a chile. I don't do that. I don't know if maybe I have more manly type of behaviors, but I like it that way. I'm not with all that. You treat me good, that's enough. That's enough. Of course you're gonna spend, but not on stupid shit. Not stupid things. Get me some diamond jewelries. Get me a Birkin bag, or I'm not gonna be your girlfriend. Get me a Maybach so I can know you love me and I'll have a kid by you type shit. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I barely even fantasize of fancy flowers. No, I'm cool. I'm okay. Get me some KFC. That's the type of flowers I like. Give me KFC. Give me some milkshake. Let's travel, let's go somewhere, talk about what you want to do about your life. Do you want to buy a land? Those kind of things. What do you want to invest in? A Maybach, flashing money on strippers and all that type of shit. It's crazy. Ricky says those jewelry and cars are not worth a penny. Exactly. And Jiba Jaba says, Joby, it's called nigger trinkers. I hear they're called trickers. Tricks. Can you trick? It says 100 cars time. That is $100,000 each. That's 100 of low income home or more. And Jiba Jaba says, I would buy land all over the world. Exactly. John Moshe says clothes, cars, houses, private jet, boat, wow. Private island, wow. Somehow depending on how much they are worth. Always the same shit, copy and paste. This is crazy. So this is probably is the type who used to say I can't repeat clothes, buy some $100 type of clothes or even more than that, and then you throw them away in a day. We get them in the second-hand clothes, and then like, God damn, this is so brand new. Who the hell even lets go of these clothes? This is so brand new. Get ourselves some handbags there. It's crazy. Jibajama says buy a copper mine in the DRC, pay Negro $2, stuff like that. And the Java says ugly cars too, especially the Bugatti and the Ferrari too, feminine looking. I don't even know what's up with all that Ferrari Bugatti type shit. I don't like those cars. I don't fancy them. I really don't. I don't fancy them. So long as I have a 4 moving wheel, that's enough for me. I mean, it doesn't have to be ugly too. Like, hey, please. But shit. Just a nice, cute looking car. Doesn't have to be all these expensive type of crazy things. Just crazy. Ricky says, I had family members in the NFL, NBA, and MLB. Caucasian wouldn't let these black men invest in hoodies. And the drama says, you always have fun with your millions first, 5, 10 years. Then you grow up and think about the future. By the time you're growing up, probably you've not done anything. So grow up before you get even that 1 million, you know what you want, especially in these tough times. Imagine you just landed a jackpot somewhere. Just go buy a land somewhere, start building as quick as possible, avoid rent by all means. God damn it, pull electricity in your house, pull water, you know it's just that simple. The only thing you're going to be paying once you have a land and your own home is just electricity and water. That's all I see in Africa, literally. I don't think there's anything else extra we pay for. Nothing. Just electricity monthly and water. That's all. The rest of the things, no taxes, no house taxes, no someone coming to charge you because you have a super drum on your compound. It's crazy. And I also see Cassius Williams Karibu says this DuPont saying nothing about breakfast stealing school money. And Jibajaba says in the 90s, high schools ended financial literacy classes like learning how to balance a checkbook. Dang. I did business in high school personally. It helped me learn a lot. It helped me learn a lot financially. I did business. I didn't do geography. I did business and history, but I still didn't like history at all because I didn't like it. And it makes sense why I didn't like it. Now looking at the history we're being taught. I loved business a lot. I loved Swahili. Those are my top performing actually lessons when I finished high school. English, Swahili was the first one, then English, then business, and I'd say Christian religion education. And yeah, those are my best. And then I also see Keja says these white supremacists love to talk about black people like white people aren't doing the same thing. John Musto says in the most cases, these people giving him financial advice are the ones stealing from him. Yeah, but yeah, as we wind up, let me play this video as we wind up with today's conversation.
I mean, look, Mayweather broke is not our version of broke, right? Me and you being broke means we're really broke. Mayweather broke means that, okay, he may have to sell off one of his homes. He may have to sell off a few watches.
Well, they saying in New York, the guy that he was getting an apartment from is suing him for that apartment.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was a story that he had bought one of the buildings in the Diamond District, and then a bunch of people said that's not true. But he was announcing it on IG, but then other people were like, no, that's not true. Look, if you look at his IG right now, this Saturday, he's doing a meet and greet at the MCM store in Vegas from 2 p.m. to 3:30. That doesn't sound like something Floyd would do.
Yeah, last time I talked to him, he was telling me that he was buying the biggest building in New York.
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
This is crazy. And then
just popping fresh, But I already knew it was game. I done did too many deals to know when somebody got some money and when they don't have no money.
And I feel like this is why it's also how do I say? Trying to find the right words to put it together. If black people had unity and then you get such money, go find your fellow rich black community. Again, this is what we're talking about, doing things in silence and not announcing stuff. And create some black power, because it starts by creating. Literally, black power doesn't have to start by voting and all that. It starts by you building something of yours. If I'm wrong, correct me, building something of your own that can generate you guys money, Find some fellow black millionaires, put your minds together, see what you guys can invest in, where do you want to invest, look at the future benefits of your investments before you invest, do research. I don't know. Anyway, everybody's given the right mindset. We keep saying that. We keep saying that because we see the same thing here in Africa with especially, I think for us to talk about on the girls level, the girls who are gonna get people who spend a lot of money on them, a lot of money. And then once they break up with these guys, they're left broke. And you're like, what did you do with this money since someone was giving you like 100,000 or 500,000 every month? Oh, nothing. I was buying backing bags, I furnished my house. You don't have no business. You have Please, let's wake up. let's be smart enough. And I'm gonna read the last comment. Then he says, exactly, get money, market, high interest yield in savings account, land, precious metals, businesses. On top of that, use that money to buy high-powered lawyers, politicians, etc. Exactly. John Mosque says most of the money comes from the advertisements and endorsements of endorsement. So if they say or do anything wrong, contract terminated. That is true. I do agree too. Shout out to Jiba. Jabba, have a good day too, and have a nice time on your black job. Danny says, if I ever hit a lottery for some millions, you wouldn't know. Damn image. I've got nothing to prove. Exactly. The problem is the black community wants to prove so much. I got it. You was laughing at me. Now, please. Fine. Win in silence, as a matter of fact. Let people see you popping shit, but they keep on asking where did they get the money? And you have some businesses running, you have shit running, not you running your money and your mouth and nothing you're doing. It's crazy. What's a Maybach? It's a Maybach, John Mosquito. Don't act like you don't know what's a Maybach. You can't buy land around the world unless it's America. You can buy land if you want to in Africa, Ricky. You just don't want to, and it's okay. You don't want to. Unless you're in America, no, you can buy land. You can. You can buy land anywhere around the world, so long as it's not Europe or America. Personally, you can buy land in Africa, god damn it. Shit. And you're gonna get acres of land. If you look at the price you're gonna buy a land with in America, bet you're gonna get probably triple of that land here in Africa with that money. And correct me if I'm wrong as I wind up. Correct me if I'm wrong. And also see 10 Speed says, let's look at the Jays and the list of black entertainers from the sports and singers far back in the 90s. I can try. We talk about that.
It's actually more expensive, Joe, in Africa. The land, our own land. You guys know our own land, but it's more expensive in Africa than America. Yeah. 2 acres cost you like $15,000. Yeah, acre land here maybe $2,000. 2 acres is cost me $15,000.
Depends on the location. That is why I'm saying you have to do research.
That's true. But I'm way out in the rural space. Shit, I'm way out in the middle of nowhere. Shit, and by Nairobi is even more.
And it's spacious. It's really spacious. You can see it's spacious. But anyway, much love, family. That's where we come to the end of today's conversation. I hope you've learned a thing or two, or you've consumed a thing or two. But we leave it right there. That has been our time today. See you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. 10 Speed. I'll try if I'll remember. Maybe we cue that as the topic of tomorrow. So I'll see what we're going to be discussing about tomorrow. If not, I can cue that as the topic as we go deeper into the history of how the black celebrities have had their money stolen by the Jays. But much love. Have a beautiful rest part of your day. Peace, and we're out. Closing remarks, Keith, if you're still there. I think Keith is busy on his black job too. But peace, family, and we're out.